Hey everybody. I had to come make a video on one of my store runs, just park and come make a video because it feels like it's been forever that I've been on, and that's because my kids are not in school, obviously. And usually, back when I made videos consistently, I would do them while my daughter was napping and then my three oldest kids are at school. And that's not really happening right now, and they don't go see their dad, so I don't get that alone time because he's an essential worker, I guess you could say, so he can't be around them either. And so it's been me and my four kids and Lance, obviously, and it's been crazy. It's just a house full of craziness. But right now this video had to be made because I keep feeling these patterns in the energy amongst not the collective in terms of people who are still kind of asleep or just waking up, but people who have kind of been on this spiritual journey for a little bit now, and they're going through this period of transition, and it feels almost still like a pause, like we're anticipating something to happen, but we don't know what it is. And this little fear of the unknown is like creeping in. And people who hold a lot of divine masculine energy might be struggling a little bit at this time because they want to make it happen. They want to be like, okay, like what's the next step? We can make this plan. And I'm going to use myself as an example because I think it will help a lot of people maybe understand these energies a little bit more clearly. So for me, I have been waiting to move out of this house that I owned with my ex-husband, but it's just like when you are on this journey, you understand that like when you close certain chapters, like certain things come with that. So like selling this house was like one of those things for me. And I've lived in it for years and years and years, and I'm totally hopping onto this new 5D timeline, and I know this house is not part of that, okay? Like I know, Spirit told me. But the thing that creeps in for me is that the patience of letting it unfold. And so I kind of knew I had to wait till around like this time, spring of 2020. Like there's certain times you put your house on the market. There's these certain intuitive hits I got from Spirit were like, okay, that's going to be the time you need to do it. So as soon as this lockdown happened, it kind of made it easier because Lance was at home with me because he teaches, so he is not able, obviously other teachers aren't working right now, and so he's home and the kids are home because the schools are closed, and so he was able to help me really get the house prepped. So I would say maybe 2 weeks ago, we finally finished like painting the whole house. I mean, getting rid of so much stuff, like tons of trips to the Goodwill to just like, even if it was really nice stuff, I was like, whatever, I'm just donating everything. Like I did everything I could do to help the process move forward. And then it got to a point where now it's just like, there's literally nothing to do. The house is completely ready to show. Like now, basically, I just have to keep it somewhat clean. So when the realtor calls me and is like, "Hey, you got to show the house," I can round up all the kids and the dog, throw everybody in the truck, clean the house real quick, and But my point is there's nothing left for me to do. There's nothing I could physically do to make this situation move forward in any way. As a human being in that do masculine energy, there's nothing more I could do. And so Spirit is like, you need to let go of control. So this is me trying to control the situation. I'm constantly on Zillow looking at rentals and looking at like actual property to try to like want to force a future with like how everything is going to pan out. And like finally it got to yesterday where I literally drove myself so crazy constantly being on those apps. Like screw Facebook and Instagram, all that. Like I kind of like look at them every once in a while, but normally I'm doing things, I'm a doer. So much is in me, and that's like one of the biggest challenges on my spiritual journey is like learning to let go and bring in that feminine energy. And that is what needs to happen right now because everybody is in a panic, and that fear of not knowing what's going to happen in the future is like so present. It's present in people who are asleep, and it's present in the light worker community as well, because right now, this stagnant energy, it's like stagnant but cleansing at the same time. The masses are cleansing, you know, the everything involved with like the elites and the government and all that kind of stuff, that is being cleansed right now, and everybody is gonna have to rebuild, okay? And we've already done all that work, and that's why we're so ready for something to happen. Like, what is the next step? But just like we weren't sure what the whole big shift was going to be, the coronavirus, like a lot of people didn't realize, and then it just hit us out of nowhere. And that's exactly what's going to happen. Like, there is no prediction. There is no, like, I have it all planned out. Here's the layout of what this is, what, you know, is going to be for my future, where I'm going to live, where I'm going to work, who I'm going to be with, what friends or family will be in my life or not in my life, like what's going to happen with anything. You can insert whatever it is in your life, in that fear of the unknown, the not knowing what the future is, and really having to surrender and do that trust fall. That is the energy we're in. And for me, the solution was today, first of all, you know, I sit and I pick at what I'm going through, because unlike when I was asleep, I see my own shit. I see when I'm being controlling. I see when I'm not allowing that feminine, nurturing myself, that feminine energy come in. I'm not nurturing myself. I'm constantly trying to force things and control things in my life instead of letting them flow in and being, you know, really connected to spirit to the point where you're not judging yourself. You're not feeling that fear of not knowing what's going to happen. And just like when you take care of yourself and you bring in the feminine energy, take care of yourself, do the creative things that will nurture your soul. Like maybe if I went and did a painting right now, my logical masculine side can't see how that is productive. But that's exactly what you need when you're feeling that overload of trying to control the future, that overload of fear of the unknown. You have to bring in that feminine energy. And how can we do that? Be creative. Like for me, I've always been curious about astrology and like the tarot, like really looking at each individual card and learning like different perspectives of it, listening to other people who have been doing tarot for like 20 plus years and how their perception of it, like really learning the art of it and the history. I was a history major in college, so I'm like, I love to learn, but I never really had that opportunity to sit down and really do it. It's like, it's almost like you're taking a college course and you're online, you're doing all this research and you're digging and you're really to the point where you could participate in that art at some point. Like I always thought maybe I'll do tarot on my page and readings and stuff, because the messages come in. I can read oracle cards very easily, but I want to be like that person who knows the tarot so deeply inside and out that when those messages, I don't have to sit there and try to think about what that card means. I know what it means as soon as I see it, and I can get that message from spirit. And I don't want to just read oracle cards. So anyways, the point I'm trying to make is I've always really kind of want to dig into that, right? But I never had a chance. There's always something I need to be doing, right? Something I could have done for the house to get it ready to show and all that. Now everything is done. I have no excuse not to do it, and it's the perfect thing to distract me from looking at houses on Zillow, right? And so like that really came strong to me this morning. In terms of like, that's the solution to bring in that feminine energy into my experience. Of course it's going to be different for each and every one of us. I'm just using myself as a case study, and you can insert your situation, you can insert whatever, because nobody fits all in one box. Whatever your scenario is, whatever your circumstances are, you can fit it into this surrender type of energy that needs to happen. Because faith is what is carrying us right now, because there's so much unknown. Anyone who tries to tell you to try to predict what's going to happen next, even on the mass scale in terms of what's happening with the virus and everything else, they don't know. Nobody really knows, because that's where we're at right now. And even if like a highly intuitive person who really receives a lot of information involving like those things, those type of like serious mass scale things that the entire collective experiences, the entire world experiences, they're even only going to get a certain amount of information right now. It is a very moment to moment thing right now, because if you reveal too much, then like the polarized forces, the service to self factions and forces, then they're going to get that information too. They can retrieve that information, so they can try to maneuver in a different way. But at this point, the 100th monkey effect has already set in. You know, the light has already won, and that's why we should be so comfortable right now, just sitting and sinking into that surrender space and that faith and that just knowing that everything's always working out for me. Everything's always working out for you. And just keep, giving yourself these affirmations, this knowingness that everything is good. And the more I feel good, the more smoothly it will unfold. The more I just focus on bringing in feminine energy and being creative and trying to just feel good in every moment. Like, what am I doing right now? Do I feel good about it? What is this doing for me? What is this doing for me when I'm scrolling through the Zillow app looking for houses when I don't even know who's going to buy mine yet? That does nothing for me. Because then what? I could get attached to a house, and then my house isn't going to sell till like a month and a half from now, and that house is already going to be sold. Then I have to feel that like loss of that house. You know, it's just this whole momentum of things. If you really pick apart what you're doing, you can see, you can ask yourself this question and say, how is this benefiting me? How is this not benefiting me? And really see everything for what it is. Even the smallest things. Like, how much time am I spending just sitting on social media, scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, when I could be harnessing this feminine energy and channeling it in a creative way? Even if that's just cooking a dope meal because you're home, and let's face it, the only thing we have access to is a grocery store. So why not go plan a whole meal out? Get on Pinterest. Pinterest is an awesome way to find creative things to do. Type in a few keywords and get creative. Or what is that thing you, like for me, that you always wanted to study and you didn't have a chance? Like, do that. Do anything to make you not think about whatever you're stressed out about in terms of the future. Because the future is now. Like, if you're on this journey, you feel these time changes are super serious right now. It's like you blink and it's like the whole month passed. What happened? You know, you're not that asleep, bored person in isolation going crazy because all their darkness is coming to the surface. No, you've already cleared a lot of your stuff. So now you kind of just have to distract yourself in a creative way that keeps your vibration high while everything is unfolding. It's unfolding, but it's going to be divine timing, and there's nothing you can do to control that. And that's a hard lesson that I had to learn. So if you take anything from this message, it's release control, surrender, and harness that faith that we all have, that knowingness that everything is always working out for me, and Spirit's going to unfold it in a way that I can't even think of with my ego mind that tries to control things. I can't even think of what it's going to be. So why am I trying to force it? Because that's not how we operate in the 5D timelines. It's flow, not force. But anyways, guys, I'm going to go in and get these groceries. I love you. Surrender. Everything is always working out for you. It's okay. Trust me. Trust me when I say this. Everything is going to be fine. You just have to get out of your own way and keep your vibe high. Make feeling good a top priority. But I love you guys, and hopefully I will put some more videos up. I'll do some more car videos every time I go to the store. All right, bye.